Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our next talk. I hope you can hear and see me. If you do, can you please write in the comment in the chat on the right some signs? I don't know, pluses, smiles, anything. We'll do a bit of the technical check if everything is okay. Okay. All right. Good. So let's start. My name is Ostap Kovalchuk. I'm again, I would be opening this talk of delivery management community. Just a reminder for everyone, or maybe for those who joined joined us like a first time. It's not only for the delivery management. Information here would be useful for the project managers, scrum masters, anyone who is interested, or people who want to be managers, who is interested in the management positions. Of course, we are touching software development mainly because our community has a software development and technical background. Actually, I hope everyone had a good vacation period in summer and everyone is back. I also hope that you haven't forgot that you had a vacation as well. So the usual business as usual didn't consume you fully yet. So today we have a very interesting talk. Let me kind of outline why we decided to do this specific talk. So as a manager, we as a managers, we think sometimes like how to better understand what's going on in terms of scope requirements on the project. This was my personal question as well. We also get a bit of inquiries about this area specifically. So we decided to do this talk jointly with our business analysis community. So today we'll have a guest speaker from that community. And basically what we will be talking about. So this talk would be targeted to explain the managers what to expect from business analyst and product owner. So what I mean by that is business analyst, not only like as a role, business analyst. Sometimes we have a role of product owner, but both of them are responsible for requirements and for the scope. So we would be focusing on the scope and the requirements, what project managers should know about that, how they can see if everything is done correctly, what to expect of these roles. And of course, we would be talking about the business analyst. This would be a business analyst in software development. So again, everything related to software development. So having said that, I would like to introduce the speaker that we have here. So you see Kostya will introduce himself. Konstantin, for short version is Kostya. But just one organizational moment. So we have a chat on the right, and if you're watching this translation in YouTube, there's also a comment available. So feel free to post your questions there if you will have one during the talk. We will answer them in the end. There would be a Q&A session, but we would be reading through all of the comments, so feel free to post them there. And basically, that's it from the kickoff, and I'm happy to pass the floor to Konstantin.
Yeah, hello everyone, and Ostap, again, many thanks for the introduction. I hope our today's meetup will be interesting and in some way helpful for you in your further steps working on the project. So let's kick this off, right? So today's topic is like navigating project success using different stuff from the BA competency, and probably everybody's wondering what is it? Why should we go with that. Use like business analyst is the one who just writes you the stories, but everybody has different background, right? And even when we say business analyst, people in many cases like have different understanding of what business analyst is, especially when Ostap mentioned like product owner, right? There are a bit, although it's not a title, it's a role, although it's not probably does not exist in some companies. Still, to play this role, a business analyst has to have some background competencies behind. Same is about the Scrum Mastering. Same about being like just business analyst, like with expertise in domain, and be an IT business analyst. When you don't care basically what the domain is, you just go and do. All right. So before we start, let me oh, I thought I had an intro slide here, but okay. Let's keep the intro slide. So just a couple of words for me. I'm working as a chief business analyst, and my BA path started some 14 years ago. Worked in many different domains. Well, basically, besides the project work, have also many other stuff that I'm doing, like management related, education related, etc., technical interviewing. So I communicate with many people, and I have pretty much experience to share something with you, which would be useful, I hope. So let's move on. So what we have in today's agenda. First of all, let's make an intro, right? To understand, well, how can we apply business analysis in the project management? Is there any kind of intersection between business analysis activities and project management in general? The next one will be dedicated like to particular techniques, maybe tool set that is that you can use basically to set up the processes, to do some stuff around the project. Whoever you are, Scrum Master, project coordinator, project manager, delivery manager, whatever. Again, we will talk a bit about the role of a business analyst. So there were times when people didn't know what business analysis is, around 15 years ago, or maybe a bit more. So now everybody likes to know what business analyst is, but still there are different angles people look at it. We will talk a bit about the case studies, and after the conclusion and takeaways, we will have the Q&A session. So I'll try to stay like pretty time boxed in order to view your comments, and we would be able to discuss together with Ostap from different angles, VA and delivery manager. So at this point, let's move on from the start. All right. So business analysis in project management. Typically, what I would think reading this, I would think that why should business analysts care about project management, or why should a project manager care about like business analysis besides the scope, let's say. Although, let me highlight the list of the areas where project delivery manager, Scrum Master intersect with the business analyst. And they do pretty same job, different projects with different setups. So let's move to the next slide. This is kind of an overview, right? So it's not the full set of the areas of project, let's say, responsibilities and scope responsibilities that we could add here, but as we are time boxed, let's focus on the main ones. So the first maybe think in the center, right, is a strategic alignment. So not only business analyst or project management team should be aligned, but whole the team, right? And this is maybe the major point. Without alignment, it will be something like we are trying to get the car in different directions and just take off the wheels from it. So the next one is very obvious, right? Stakeholder engagement. Okay, we can have different focus of the stakeholders still. We intersect here like business analysts and managers. We go with the scope definition management, which is basically the thing which is present at the every project. But there are differences, right? Because there are projects with a fixed price, which are more painful in terms of the scope management. There are time and materials project where customers pays just for the time, let's say, for the team, and they are more easy. But still, this is the area we focus on. And the related stuff, right, to the fixed price projects is the change management. There is no project basically which does not face any risks. The question is only about the quantity and the let's say criticality of those risks. So business analysts also do risk management, and that's what probably managers should expect for them when they analyze the project from the wider perspective. Quality assurance is something that is probably not very obvious why we have it here, but from different angles, both business analyst and manager are like pretty involved into getting the right quality of the product being built. And the last but not least, communication documentation. Again, different areas of documents that we can create, different people we can communicate, but still there are intersections. So, well, like on the next slides, we will have the every area with this, and we will take a look how we can use it. So which kind of techniques we use, which kind of tool set we might use. So moving on to the next slide. Basically the very interesting thing when I was looking through some delivery management materials, like for example, discovery approach, which is kind of a guidance for a delivery manager how to run a discovery. I was a bit surprised because, obviously there should not be much of the difference to the guideline for a business analyst, but these guidelines were probably 80 to 90% the same. Just for the delivery managers, there was also some focus on the delivery goals, right? And when we look deeper, not only on the example of discovery, we will see business analyst tool set, which can be used by the management team as well. For the strategic alignment, one of the things that have to be negotiated between project manager, customer, business analyst, probably dev team, is the KPIs, like the indicators which will show us how good we are, how successful we are. I had a case when I was not like a pure business analyst on the project. I was a technical product manager, and I was also responsible for the delivery. And one of the things which I was not aware of when I came to the project, it was like already running, was that we had to cover, you will be laughing again, 100% of the unit test coverage. At that time, I didn't even know what unit tests are. So still I had to go deeper into this topic, understand what it is, to discuss it with developers, to understand our commitments to the customer. And finally, we built a plan how to increase this unit test coverage. And finally, in some 4 months, I think we reached from 40%, we reached something around 90, which is very good. Again, it's not 100% because 100% is not possible, although every customer wants it. But still, at every project, we would have some set of the KPIs, and KPIs is a tool that is very familiar to a business analyst and again to the every manager, and which basically you can speak to business analysts and they will understand what I mean, and they will focus. They would be able probably provide some overview on additional KPIs, like from the BA perspective as well. So when we talk about the road mapping, like the project plan, so there are different tools, basically strategy maps, like realization plan, whatever we call it. So both business analysts and managers are familiar with it. So when it comes to the road mapping, roadmap is a thing, like is a tool that is also commonly used, right? So it's not in the list, but still, when we look at the map, basically it's a roadmap. So it's one of the commonly used tools by the business analyst, and it's obviously it obviously can be used by a project or delivery manager. When we go to the stakeholder management, so it's I would say it's one of the like, I wouldn't say that some competencies are not must have for a business analyst, but this is one of the most important. It's a place where you can fail and not and you don't have like this point of return. And basically, tools that business analysts use for the stakeholder management is are different stakeholder maps, RACI metrics. Like this are personas, and there is nothing new, I think, to the every person on this call in the stakeholder engagement. So what is important here and not shortlisted is also the stakeholder expectations management. So especially focused on the customer, because we have, again, many stakeholders, both project team and customer side. So these are the tools, the form that can be used for stakeholder analysis. Again, you can put this metrics in Excel spreadsheet at any knowledge base. Persona creation also can be a kind of a list, just a tabular view. It can be something beautifully, how we call this, visualized. Yeah. So these are the tools that like commonly used on the every project almost. So again, why I say almost, because there were projects where we had no RACI metrics, for example. Yeah, that could be just points in the contract, like roles and responsibilities, who does what in terms of the project milestones, and that's it. Good. Moving on. Yeah, and one reminder, yeah, if you have questions, comments, or some let's say stories from your life, you can also put it into the comments, and we can discuss this later on after my speech, let's call it this way. Moving on. Scope definition and management. As I mentioned before, before we started like the toolset review, this is something where project manager, delivery manager, scrum master, business analyst collaborate very closely and effectively if proper toolset is used, right? And if all the commitments are handled properly. So let's say, okay, if you are a project manager and you come to a business analyst saying, okay, we need to define the scope and decide how we manage it. So what do we want to do? So you can expect from a business analyst to provide you some modeling tool for the scope. So this can be some mind maps, for example. These mind maps can be later on reused for identifying the right hierarchy of the backlog. And this hierarchy will basically, the complexity of this hierarchy will definitely depend on the scope size, on the scope complexity, and you might have like as a result of this mind mapping, you might have some 4 levels of the hierarchy in the backlog. Let's say one of my latest project had very many levels. I will not count, but I will just name those. So we had themes, under themes epics, under epics features, under features stories, under stories test cases, tasks, bugs, whatever. So it was quite a big scope. So probably when the project size, let's call it size, the scope size is not like very big, it doesn't require like much involvement of a tool set to model the scope, to understand where we are. So, and again, if you go time and material, you just have a customer who wants to get some feature prioritized, you take it and you implement it, and that's it. But if it comes to a big project, so-called large-scale project, it's absolutely another thing, and you need to have a clear vision of the scope size, of the scope complexity, and transfer it into the solution requirements, right? Because later on you have to understand which of the business requirements we covered with the implementation, which not. And this is essential. Like, this is a commitment, like for the customer. So okay, now we come to the traceability metrics. It can be some Excel spreadsheet, and it can be just a query in Azure DevOps, which shows you references if you have both business and solution requirements. It can have many relations, like one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-many. So nevertheless, these are only details. But these are essential tools for the scope definition of management. So definitely we could shortlist like a couple of more, but let's focus on the major ones. If you want to go and deep dive into this, you can, as a manager, you can just take your business analyst and say, okay, I know these 3 tools, I need 5 more. I want to select. And okay, business analyst will probably give it right on the plate, or will go and investigate pros and cons of the every tool. So because scope is a thing that that requires commitment, and basically scope is money, right? So we cannot lose something. I think that's it for the scope definition, and let's move on with the change management. With the change management, I will have the case study stage, very interesting story. So change, is it good or bad, right? So the same as risk. So positive risks are opportunities, right? So change management is nothing bad. It can be bad from the developer perspective, but if you come to a business analyst, they wouldn't say it's bad. Okay, we have a change, it's good, we have a job, we have something to do. But it is essential to have like visibility of this process, because again, even so we again, change management is something very, very specific. So it varies from fixed price to time and material projects, and basically your team, well, the first line business analyst, right, should clearly understand what is the flow, because I've been to many projects, but access to, let's say, scope of work documents or some contractual agreements is not always something that is provided to a business analyst on your project. So this is the stuff that should be shared. It should be available to every member of a team. And in order for this to take place, you have to negotiate again, roles and responsibilities, who does what. So you can use your business analyst. If change request is something that brings money to your company, to your account, to your project, then okay, let's think over how we can probably let's say motivate customer to make change requests. Okay, we have fixed scope, but customer has a budget, for example, and if business analyst doesn't do anything, maybe nothing happens. Maybe from time to time customer will come and say, okay, we don't have this in scope, but we want this to have in our product, so please go implement. Okay, we have this process defined, we go through the process, we implement this change request, but what happens next? Business analyst can just sit and wait for the next change request. Otherwise, business analyst could take the ownership over over this process and like proactively generate the ideas for the customer to be accepted and to generate, let's say, more money. So it can be considered from different perspectives. And yeah, as a final result, so backlog management is one of the tools which is used for the change management. So you have to clearly understand which part of your backlog is baselined, which part is dedicated to the change request and requires different processing. Risk assessment is something, let's say, important, but not probably addressed on the every project, on 100% of the projects. And this is very important. I believe the every manager pretty clearly can see the list of the risks dedicated to their project. Still, there could be some hidden risks, probably visible from another angle, right? So you can just take your business analyst and say, okay, we have some risk register, and we require from you some inputs from the BA perspective, what you see as a risk. And risk can be any, like coming back to the duties of the business analyst. So this can be risk related to the stakeholder management, to the scope creep. It can be risk related to the case that one of the stakeholders is leaving the project and needs maybe some inside information. Anything. So this should be handled all together, like you as a manager and me as a business analyst. Yeah. So and I will not speak speak long about the SWOT analysis, about the gap analysis, understanding the opportunities, etc. So I think it's obvious for the every manager or the person who is has intention to become a manager. And quality assurance. Quality is something which is okay, so we all know this iron triangle, right? So we cannot live without it. So we can do something very fancy, but without proper quality, it will be a throwaway material. So in order to set up the right quality on the project, you can use your business analyst as the first entry point for getting the tasks into the development. And the reason is that coming back to the KPIs from one of the previous slides, right? You should have KPIs also for the business analysis quality, like quality of the artifacts, number of change requests produced to this functionality. It can be a number of the review cycles with the customer, with the team, whatever. So it can be anything. But if we talk about the quality of the product, it can be negatively impacted by the quality of the business artifacts. Let's say same user stories. If you don't have enough details in the acceptance criteria, if you don't have let's say enough alternatives, happy and unhappy paths described, this could be a problem, really problem, because first of all, team would be blocked in terms of QA coming to the business analyst every day, asking tons of questions. The development blocked because it's not clear how to implement to meet the acceptance criteria, how QA will test it. And this is another side of the story. So yeah, we see this validation and verification. So we should set up the standards for BA for all the projects, for the product, and there are again very many angles on the quality. So if you talk about the quality from BA perspective, so okay, let's do the following. We have some BA deliverables, and we need to have some goals in order to meet the quality of the artifacts of the deliverables. We have to do some review sessions. We have to set the standards and compare the every produced artifacts to the standard. And when it goes on the rails, you will not spend much time for that. Yeah, and the simplest document, like not document, but tool is a checklist, right? So you go 1, 2, 3, okay, all points met, then we think this is a quality artifact. So that's it. Yeah, and root cause analysis, basically, yeah. Coming back to the story with the artifacts. So okay, we have implementation stuck. Why don't we have it? Do we have it stuck? Okay, QA cannot can test this because we don't have enough details in the user story, etc., etc. So root cause analysis is something very generic, that it can be implemented in the every part of the project, right? So, and dedicated to the quality of the BA output as well. Yeah, and again, all these are the tools that business analysts use in their everyday work, I would say. Maybe not every day, but use regularly. Regarding communication. Again, if you go to the guidelines for delivery manager, and we go to the guidelines for the business analyst, that's the same. You will have communication plan here and there, and this is something that you can do in cooperation with the business analyst. Next thing is more related to the documentation. The tool which is used for modeling the business processes. So it can be anything. So projects might have licenses for this tool. They use this tool. Client uses another tool set. Okay, we can go and switch to their tool set. It's like tooling, so we don't care about this. But in the business modeling, it's very important to let's say have a couple of things, understand why we do this, how we do this, and who will be consuming this. So if you go about the talk about the business process modeling, it's something that a project manager or delivery manager can use to explain maybe complex things in a simple way, like to any auditory. So if you go to some technical stuff, like we have some I don't know, object model described in UML diagrams or something else, it cannot be like presented to higher level stakeholders. But if we talk about the processes, we can use this tool set, and it can be used for many things. Basically, it can be used for describing the life cycle of the items of the change request. It can be used, well, basically for everything. And well, what I'm thinking about is that the more visualization we have, probably the easier life is. So I'm a fan of having visuals everywhere where it's applicable, right? And sharing all this stuff with the team. Yeah, and we need to spread the information in some way, right? So we need to have a common knowledge for this. And basically, it again depends on the projects. Some projects use Confluence, some Wiki, some probably other internal tools, whatever. But knowledge should be spread among the team. Let's move on. So very quick overview of the toolset that we made. I hope you had something new to see there, because it's very common stuff. Again, coming to the intersection between project delivery managers and business analysts, we work on the same things but with different angles. It's not. I hope you now you agree with me that the business analyst is not the only guy, the only project member. I mean, not the project member who only works on the user story writing. So there are lots of the things to do. And when we come to the overview of the business analyst in the project teams, if you still have doubts, either you need a business analyst. Okay, you have this tool set, you can use it yourself. It's pretty simple. Again, you can hire more project managers to your team who will use this tool set to do this, and that. Do you still need more business analysts to cover this stuff? Just you can consider that a selling point, but it's not. So first of all, facilitation and communication, right? It's the area which is probably crucial, right? If you don't have proper communication with a team, with a customer, if you don't have the processes, just regular meetings organized in a good way, so probably you wouldn't be able to succeed. Like, I mean, not personally as a manager, but it means in terms of the project itself. So this is the area that is perfectly covered by a business analyst, because we always had a conversation, what is more important for a business analyst, like hard skills or soft skills? And basically this area refers to the soft skills, and the majority of people who answer this question, they say, okay, soft skills are more important. And basically this communication facilitation is the area which is like which perfectly matches with the BA application. So let's move on. Next one, advisor on the best practices. So obviously the projects are seeking for business analysts with some related experience, starting from the domain experience, starting from let's say product specific, either it's web applications or it's mobile applications, moving on with the target product, right? So there should be some match between BA experience and project expectations. Well, my honest opinion is that probably domain doesn't matter. Only in the case if the business analyst has to do consultancy. In this case, yes. But still, if a business analyst has relevant experience, had relevant projects in the past, this is a good source for, let's say, advisory, really advisory. So, okay, we have best practices. We do this in this way, we have this result. If we do it another, we will have result number 2, which doesn't like meet our. We do not accept this. It can be advisory again, also from the domain perspective. Some projects even consider hiring business analysts without much BA experience, but having domain expertise. Because imagine I had a project where we had, let me recall, around 10 BAs at that moment, I think, and there was a bit lack of the expertise in the domain. So all business analysts were good, but there was a management decision to hire like kind of a business analyst, like with minimal experience, but with a huge experience in the domain. So, and basically it was very helpful to have an advisor in the team. So this person created lots of knowledge transfer sessions, glossary, understand the specific. She was explaining why this is done in that or that way, and basically the only thing that was the only worry about the experience of this business analyst was covered just by adding a mentor. So, and that's it. So, yep. I think that's it about the advisory. I think the topic is very should be very clear to everyone. The next one is future state visioning. Well, from time to time, it comes to be at some projects that everybody is doing something, but it's just a routine. And when you ask a person what is the goal, no one will answer. And there is kind of a story like when a man is putting the stones one on one, and his face is not happy at all. And when you ask him why and what are you doing, cannot you see I just put brick on a brick? Like the other person, which looks more happy, on the same question answers, okay, I'm building a wall. And the third person, who looks pretty happy, smiling, doing the same thing, putting brick on a brick, answers this question that I'm building a church or school, whatever. And the person has a goal, has a vision of what is going to happen next, why we put this brick on this brick, just not doing the routine tasks, but what we are doing in general. And same applies to the project. So business analyst is the first line to communicate with the customer from the product perspective. And what you should expect from a business analyst to have this vision. If they don't, most likely you have to ask them to do the homework, right? It doesn't mean that business analysts should produce some document like vision, like in classic way, convert it into PDF and share them on the team. Okay, we can have just a couple of sentences. We can have just an overview of the roadmap. So this vision, like, probably could be already existing in the statement of work or any other contractual documentation, but this is something that should be shared. And basically, the business analyst is a person who should be, probably must be, an ambassador in sharing this vision. So if your business analysts on project don't have a vision why we do this and that, they have to do your homework. So just don't tell them that that was my idea. All right. Next thing. Yeah, we are moving as far as I see according to our time boxing. So, which is good. So the next thing is about the case studies. I was like thinking what would be a good things to share. Like from my experience, I had pretty many projects. So one of the cases I probably already mentioned here, like hiring the subject matter expert who would be like entry-level business analyst, but would have some mentor and increase domain knowledge in the project very significantly. And this, as a result, again, what we have in the results, first of all, it's understanding of the team, the right business processes, the first thing. The second thing is speeding up the development. Obviously, because we prepare the backlog quicker, we communicate to the customer in more effective way, and like we produce the code in time. Next thing, again, is satisfaction, right? It's much more like every person who is speaking, they want to be heard, and if they don't feel this, they keep frustrating. So when a customer starts understanding that you hear them, they become more happy and you collaborate more effectively. So basically, very high impact of such a usual turn, I would say. Another case study. This is a story that I like to mention because everybody likes to hear about the fails. This happened to me some time ago. I don't know, maybe before around 10 years ago or something. So I joined the project, and I joined as a senior business analyst, and we had a team of couple developers. We had a team lead, a couple of QAs, and we were working in like some mixed mode. It was not agile; it was something like RAP. So we had 3 to 4 months iterations, having some fixed scope for implementation. The only thing we're doing is balancing the team to fit this the scope. And what happened? I arrived to the customer office in order to meet and greet. And at that time, I would say it was not like pretty obvious for me what we have in the contract agreements and what we have in terms of the roles and responsibilities. And this basically comes to the change management because, as I mentioned, this was a fixed price. So what happened is that a customer who was like very friendly, and he was looking for real long-term partnership with us, with me personally as a business analyst of the team, came to me with kind of a friendly request. Hey man, I have some doc, we have some logic that it was dedicated to the customer impact analysis, and there were some calculations involved. So he asked me like in a friendly manner, hey, we want in some time to implement this. Do you have an idea how many man days it would cost? And the case was that the team lead was on vacation, and I had developers. And what I did was purely logical, but not right. I came to the developer and said, "Okay, we have a request from the customer. It's not formal. It's just like sense of curiosity. Let's provide them an idea how many time it would take to implement this." So, okay, developer provided their estimates, QA provided their estimates. I provided my estimates in terms of the document creation. Okay, we have all this in one. We have some man days, and I believe I didn't even have this written. It was spoken verbally to a customer. Okay, let's say we have 20 man days. It's quite of a big change. And when it came to the deal in a couple of months, there was a big escalation. And the case was that this guy took this 20, I don't know, 20, 10, whatever, 20 days for granted. He created some business requirements, approved the budget with their division, and came to us to implement. And when we started the official change management process with all the estimations, adding deviation, etc., and the price was 2-3 times higher in terms of man days, and there were good educated like to convert man days to money, and there was a big escalation, and the relation with this customer were broken. He just stopped working with us because it was a big harm for his reputation, and maybe something personal as well. But this is something which is related as a conclusion, right? So I was not realizing the area of my responsibilities. There indeed was some change management, but again, this is touching the customer expectations, and we should be very careful here. So let's go and write down and share with everyone the standards of working with the customer. Well, very well. it's about the policies. It can also apply to the security policies, like to avoid the security incidents like I had recently, but I will not speak much about that. So let it be a question for you. So, okay, we are running out of time. So what I would like to make some conclusion of what have been discussed today. Again, I apologize for speedy talking. We have lots of things to discuss for today. So regarding the takeaways, right? What should we focus on to do the right things in the right manner and achieve the project success? Should we do things 1 to 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, and make sure, like not make sure, but believe that this will lead to the project success? My honest opinion is no. So we can focus on different things based based on our project specific, right? So as far as our today's topic is dedicated to business analysis in project management, so you as managers obviously have a vision and expectation from a business analyst. So you know, it's expectations which are not spoken loud still stay in your head, right? So the person might not know your expectations. So we have particular business analysis impact, so in both positive way and negative way, and we want to avoid negative and have more positive impact. So essential thing from my perspective is setting the expectation for the business analyst, and again, to ask like not to ask to negotiate on the roles and responsibilities. This is another coin to my story about the failure with the change management. Yeah. So if we talk about the essential techniques, you've seen we have walked through around seven areas. Each one was shortlisting around 2-3 techniques or tools, and if you count it, it's quite much. We cannot just take this 20 and say, okay, the first 5 are good for the every project, we take them and do. Obviously there are some necessary things, like again, coming back to the expectations management, to the documentation, to the scope management. Yes, so we can use tools from these areas, but still the tools will be different depending on your project specific. So you need to like balance between the tool set for tool set doesn't make any sense. So tool set for the result, and based on this result, we should be goal oriented, right? Everybody likes this word. And the result would dictate the tool set and the techniques that you use. And again, major, not major, but important thing. Learning is a part of the every professional, the every like person on their way, and same project learns on the mistake, right? And we have lessons learned. Let's do let's improve, so so that next time we don't make the mistakes, or next time we do it better than this time. Okay, which tools can we use for that? Who knows in Scrum? So okay, retrospective. Not too much time for your answers. If we go with the learning, okay, we can go like on my example from the project where we got a subject matter expert. Okay, let's educate the team in some areas. It can be domain, it can be, I don't know, it can be cloud, it can be testing, it can be anything. So let's plan the learning path for us. And basically that's the major thing that I wanted to highlight. And we have only 5 minutes for the questions. So, oh, I see Ostap is raising here. So welcome, Ostap.
Yes. Thank you, Kostya, for the wonderful talk. I was I was thinking a lot when you were talking. There was a lot, like couple of questions in the chat. Let me ask one, which is actually very interesting. How you case study that you presented about 20 man days, how it should be handled? Like very briefly, if you can describe it in the proper way.
Yeah, in the proper way, I would first of all say to a customer, okay, this is a sensitive thing, which is touching like sensitive because it's money related, right? You are educated to convert mandates to Swiss francs, so I don't expect like to tell you the exact number, but I have a project manager or delivery manager or technical manager, any authorized person who would be able to work with the numbers, right? So I do my stuff, I do technical stuff, I do like estimation, but I'm not the one who is accountable to share this. So coming back to the RACI metrics, right? So I'm just responsible in this role. Let's find an accountable person and say, okay, I have your request. I will happily do this. We will come to you like next week, and next week not you are coming to this guy, but the accountable person. Let it be delivery manager in my case.
Thank you, Kostya. Maybe I will add like just 2 cents from my side. I think we can show that it would be counterproductive for the customer as well, saying, okay, even if we can provide some, I can provide as a business analyst some mandates, but it probably maybe not true, and then like you would be relying on not a true number. So in the end, I mean, no one wins from it. So I agree. There was a bunch of questions related to different areas like change management, gap analysis, stuff like that. But maybe I will kind of do some general question. How we can distinguish, for example, in the case of stakeholder management, how we can distinguish responsibilities between BA and the project manager? Who should be responsible for what?
I will start from a joke. I had a project when they didn't want to pay twice, and they did this and that. Yeah. So basically, the every business analyst will tell you, okay, I don't want to have this 100 of reports to be prepared every week. Like what I mean is the job which does not involve the pure analysis, like document analysis, like communication with the customer about this, about the scope definition. This should, it's kind of delegation. Okay, a project manager is helping business analysts like to get rid of all this reporting, of all this sharing the plans for the next 5 sprints ahead or anything else. So we can collaborate effectively and we can negotiate. Okay, I don't want to do this, but we expect you to do. No, I will not. Okay, this is not how the people go to consensus, right? So we need to negotiate this. And basically some project managers, I appreciate basically on my current project, I appreciate that some part of the routines like scheduling calls, scheduling this and that, getting the right people to these calls is taken apart from me because I just don't have 4 hands and 2 heads and only 24 hours in a day, you know. So I'm very happy that these duties that I usually did at, like, let's say previous project and maybe on 10 previous projects now are handled to another person, so I can focus on another thing. So it's the point of negotiation. That's what do you think?
Oh, well, that's a good point, and I think you said some shocking truth that I haven't even realized till the time, or I haven't formalized this, that the project manager should help business analysts do it, and then you can negotiate based on this. That's impressive, because before that I had a mindset of kind of controlling what business analysts can do, but
that's probably majority of the business
impressive.
analysts think this way. Okay, project manager came to me and
Yes.
want something from me, right? yeah, we can consider it from the different angles. Like really, some like requests can be annoying for a business analyst. Okay, I came here to do my job. I want to write user story, but someone is trying to get me to some call. I don't want to go to that call. Something like that. But it's a common stuff, and it's just your attitude and prioritization. Yeah. So which goals do you set on your project?
Yep, that's quite impressive truth, honestly speaking. All right, I think we're on top of the hour. I don't want to like delay or take more of your time. It's a lovely Thursday evening. So thanks, Kostya, for your talk. I think it was very useful. At least it triggered some thought for me. I hope for the audience here as well. So again, thank you for your contribution, and to the audience, I hope to see you next time. Look for announcements in our delivery management community. So see you in the next talk. Thanks a lot.
I was happy to be here. Bye, guys. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.